All right, we're here with Darian Hagan, 1990 national champion, and a guy who knows a little bit about this rivalry. Can you take us back to like when you're even maybe being recruited, and when you got here, and like what your understanding of this rivalry and how you came to hate Nebraska?
Well, when I was getting recruited by Nebraska, it was one of those things where you wanted to be recruited by the best. And they were playing for national championships all the time, and on TV all the time. And when Colorado came into my house, with Coach McCartney, and they didn't have a lot of success, I was kind of skeptical of what he was trying to sell me. And then, he says to me and my mom, "What neighborhood do you guys live in?" And I said, "This is a Crip neighborhood." And he goes, "Hey, Mom, he can't go to Nebraska. He goes to Nebraska, coming back home, they're gonna kill him." And me and my mom looked at each other and we were like, "Uh-oh, I can't go to school there." And then, the rest is history. I came to Colorado, and the red happened to be my very first meeting. I don't know what I was thinking, but I walked in the meeting room with a red Nebraska hat on. And Coach McCartney, the only time he's ever laid into me, man. And I was so embarrassed in front of my teammates and all that stuff. I threw the hat in the trash, and I've never worn red ever since.
Amen. Well, since we're being honest and making confessions here, I showed up today, and I had just like a speckle of red on my shirt, man, and I was so disappointed in myself. And then I went down to the car, and I was like, "Thank God I have this." It's about the opposite.
Right.
I was like, "Oh man, I'm not talking to Coach Hagan
with
red on my shirt, not even a speckle." So,
like Coach Mack said, "Hey, I'd rather be dead than red."
Yeah, yes, sir. Amen. That's exactly what it says.
Right.
Coach, this team has a lot of new players, obviously, and they've kind of had to learn the importance of this rivalry. What do you think is the most important aspect, or the most important thing they could learn, just going back through the history?
Respect your opponent. You don't have to like him. You don't have to like him, but you got to respect him, and just play your best. Give it your all, but at the same time, you're not playing for the name on your back. You're playing for the name across your chest. You play for the name across your chest and play for each other. Then you can do really good things. And I think Saturday, with Coach Prime's leadership and what they showed on the field last Saturday, will lend well toward this game, because I know these guys want it. And first game at home, they don't want to have these fans, turn on them.
Mm-hmm.
When Coach Mack got here, he essentially circled this game and said, "They're the best, like you mentioned. If we want to be the best, we got to get past them." You were a part of those teams that started the trend of being able to get past them. What can you remember about like the feeling? The reference I used yesterday is like it's kind of like the final boss in a video game. Like, if you got to beat the game, you got to beat these guys.
Right. That's true. If you want to be amongst the best, you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best. And Coach Mack, man, I'm telling you, we had some great coaches, but we had some really great players. When I was coaching, I tell people all the time that coaches, that's all we do is coach. We coach because we can't run and we can't play anymore. So you got to have good players. You have good players, you give yourself a chance every week. These guys, they have bought into, what Coach Prime has said and his leadership, and I'm looking forward to seeing these guys, run around on Saturday and, playing for, Colorado on their chest.
There's a part of this where like a lot of fans are asking the players like, "Do you hate Nebraska yet?" And I think it's hard to just like show up here and be like, "Yeah, I do," and they're leaning into it and embracing it.
Right.
But do you remember like the feelings that you had when you walked out there and you saw the red on the other side, like especially after some of those close, important battles you guys had?
Absolutely. I had plenty of friends on the opposite side, but every time we went out and Coach Osborne was coming down that dang tunnel, you wanted to stick it to him.
Yeah.
They walked out with a lot of pride and a lot of tradition, and they were arrogant, and we wanted to put it to them, and we wanted to show them there was a new kid on the block. and the Buffs were here to stay.
When Coach Prime talks about this rivalry, he's already saying, it's personal. What makes this rivalry personal to you?
What makes it personal to me was just the fact that, in my opinion, my humble opinion, people say that the best option quarterback to ever play in the Big 8 was Tommy Frazier. BS. D. Hagan was the best, and
yes,
I believe it, and I'll go to my grave believing that. I was faster than Tommy. He was a little bit bigger than me, but I was faster, I was smarter, and I damn sure better looking.
Let's go.
This game on Saturday, it has like a totally different feel from any of the Nebraska games I can remember. There's been a couple of these non-conference ones, but this has this like new era hype around it that's like unlike anything I've ever seen. What are you expecting this place to look like on Saturday afternoon?
Well, it better not be a lot of red in here. It should be black and gold here. It should be all black, because that's what we're going to wear. If you have true passion and true pride for the University of Colorado, that's what you'll do. You'll fill this place up, and we'll come out rocking.
When you guys won the national championship, a lot of people like to bring up that it was a split national championship. Can you tell the story of why and what you guys felt when you found out about that?
Well, we found out that once the game was over with and the tally was added up, we found out that it was in one poll that Coach Osborne didn't vote for the Buffs, and that hurt because at the same time we beat those guys, and we beat them handedly, and for him not to vote for a conference member, that was unheard of. And the reason why is because 2 years in a row we put our foot in their butt. But at the same time, that was wrong. But Georgia Tech, if we had the opportunity to play them straight up, they wouldn't have been close.
It's funny because people want to bring that up now.
Yeah.
They want to say, it's a split national championship. It's like, it's a split national championship because bro was petty about the fact that he got his ass beat.
Right, absolutely. It was, and they only beat us in one poll. We had a pretty much unanimous.
Yep.
They beat us in one poll, and they get to walk around saying that it was a split championship. It wasn't a split championship. Okay, University of Colorado, well deserved, and we will be back.
I'm not going to ask you to make any predictions, but you saw the team on Saturday. How do you think they match up with Nebraska this weekend?
Well, I haven't watched Nebraska, but if our offense come out playing like we played, and if our defense can keep those guys, if our offense can keep their offense off the field, don't give them a chance, I think we'll win this game handily. But I can tell you this, you talked about how it never been as much excitement around here in the past. Well, I can tell you why. Well, we have Coach Prime, and everybody wants to see Coach Prime work his magic, and those guys have Matt Rule, okay, and they want to see Matt Rule work his magic, and both teams are trying to rekindle the magic that we once had. So, I'd say the Buffs are going to be victorious on Saturday.
Hell yeah, man. Last one for me. If you get a chance, or if you did have a chance to talk to these guys right before they went out there, what would you want to say to them?
I don't even know what I want to say. I probably would say, hey guys, as we get ready to go out in the field, make sure we play for each other. Okay, as the man next to you, the man across from you, make sure that you dominate the man across from you. Okay, and then let's go out there and kick butt. Probably would say something like that. Just simple, to the point, because at that point there's really nothing more you need to say. If you're not ready to play, then you shouldn't be here.
Man, awesome. Thanks,
Coach Hagan.
Yep.
Thank you, my guy.
Thank you, brother.